You guys watch Bluey? Any parents out there? Bluey fans? Uh, we randomly found it one time while we were on vacation, a staycation, and I think Karen and I liked it more than Amelia did at first, and now she likes it and I like it too. It's a really great show. And I'm mentioning this because the other day I started meditating again, and I'm sitting there, eyes are closed, I'm trying to meditate while I put in a little Bluey so I could get this in. I feel like it's important. And I'm meditating, and she comes over to me while my eyes are closed, and she hit me with like a foam bat. and I didn't know what to do, so I what I tend to do in meditation is just kind of sit and see where your thoughts go. And I laughed a little bit, and was like, I should make her stop. And I was like, well, why should I make her stop? So I sat in the meditation. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, is another hit coming? And I'm watching my brain going, like, trying to solve the future. What's gonna happen next? And then I get hit with a pillow. She threw it at me, and I just heard her go, hee hee hee. She started laughing, and then I smiled, and I saw this. I just felt the presence of like a kid just playing, and kind of look. I don't know what she was thinking. I'm creating situations in my head, but it appeared that she saw like someone to play with, right? And so I kept just kind of waiting for the next moment to unfold. And then she grabbed my hand, and I went, oh my gosh. I just had this moment of warmth. And then she picked it up, and she stuck my thumb in my nose. And then she went, hee. And then she grabbed my other hand and stuck it on the opposite side of my cheek. So if you're watching this video, I look like this with my eyes closed meditating. And I just started laughing. And it's funny because there's an episode in Bluey where the dad gets frozen. And then the kids are constantly moving their dad in different positions. And she did that to me while I was meditating. It just made me laugh. I started doing this again. I'm on day 2, and I haven't been because it's hard to meditate when you have a kid sticking your own finger up your nose. It's distracting, and it's hard, and you can't really sit there. And I was like, this is just too important. And when I was trying to do it at night, I'd get tired and fall asleep, and I didn't really feel like I was able to focus. So I tried, and I've been feeling calmer. It's been great. Because the last couple weeks has been tough, dude. The holidays are always hard. They suck. These ice shit that's happening in Minneapolis is hard. Just the whole situation's weird. Don't really know what's going on. And I've started noticing that, like, even this last podcast that I made, this last video, if you read the comments, they're all just fucking assholes. I don't know how else to say it. It's irritating, and I feel like I don't know what it is with. Maybe it's our culture lately, and I don't want to blame like the president, but it just seems like what he's able to say, it feels like it's giving other people permission to just say mean shit all the time. There's like the lack of respect seems to be a lot lower. I don't know if anyone else is noticing that, but I feel it, especially in being someone who posts content online all the time. And I don't really care about most of it. I've learned over 15 years of this that people can be dicks. There can be mean shit said, and there's really not too much you can do about it. But it builds up after a while, and especially with this one, because I feel like I'm very vulnerable with this podcast. I'm very I show parts of me that I don't really show. I didn't think anyone else would even watch this or listen to this thing. It was kind of mine and maybe a few close people. And then the last one just kind of blew up. And there's a bunch of mean shit again. And it just hurt because it makes me hate people. And anytime, and when you're in this place where you're like, fuck that guy, or fuck this, or whatever, you just kind of get mad. You kind of want to fight back, but you know it doesn't do any good. And it's only kind of hurting you, and I've learned this over years. And what I ended up doing was blocking my social media. I go on maybe for 15 minutes a day, do my posts, and then I turn it back. I have an app that blocks me from going on it. And within the first 24 hours, I started feeling a lot better again. I was like, oh, this is just unhealthy. Everything out here is unhealthy. It all feels gross. And I know if there's this rage that you're feeling or this anger, it keeps you on these platforms. And that's the platform's goal, is to keep you on them. Like, I know the game. I know how it all works. I don't like it. I wish I wasn't in the social media space and had other ways to, support myself right now. But that's just not how it was. I was an early adopter to this whole social media thing. And here we are, And I kept thinking of, in grad school, this helps. This helps every time. I always forget. I should write this down somewhere where I can like see it and remember it always for when this happens. But they were talking a lot of what we did in grad school. I would say at least half of it was learning how to do research, learning how to interpret research, learning how to interpret graphs, how different graphs and studies change the way you can get data, where the holes are, what makes it a better study, a not so great study, and how to understand. Just a lot of really understanding research. They really, really, really force you, and it was good. At the time I hated it, but now I'm like, oh, I'm so happy I had that. It's better than all the other stuff actually I learned. And one of the things that kind of blew my mind at the time was when they were handing out surveys to people. They're like, surveys are easy. You hand them out, people do the surveys, and you get the data back. You don't have to have like a research. You don't have to have like what am I trying to call, a lab where people come. You don't have to literally do the test. You don't have to draw blood if you're doing something like that. You don't have to measure forces. You don't have to measure speeds. You just give them the survey. You get the survey back. You run it through a program. Bickety bam, done. And I still think about this as my professor at the time goes, one giant hole in giving out like forms for people to fill out, or I'm drawing a blank on what they're called, but filling out a survey, is that there's a certain population of people who do surveys. And be aware of that. That's a type of person. So you're not going to get potentially the full spectrum of what you need, because based on whatever you're studying. It's like, oh, there's a population of people that fill out surveys, and there's a population of people who don't. So, with that being said, this is a terrible example, but to think about this, it's like, what if more males or females filled out surveys than males did, right? So then what type of people fill out surveys? What type of people don't? And the people that don't, do you need them? Do you need their information to be able to help your research? And if you do, then doing a survey isn't the best way to get information from them. Does this make sense? I'm not really explaining it very well because I didn't know I was going to be talking about this, but I think about that when I think of people who comment on YouTube videos. There is a certain type of person who comments on YouTube videos, or who comments on social media, period. They're a certain type of population. It doesn't represent the whole population, but it represents their population. And there's an even smaller group of people who comment on social media and write negative, horrible shit all the time. They're a population of people. If those people are in a room, fuck those people. That's all I want to say. I don't like that population of people. They're kind of cunts, I'm just saying it. I'm saying it out loud. Cunts. And I know I've said this in the past, and Brene Brown has this thing like, if you're not in the arena with me, then I don't give a fuck what you have to say. She didn't say fuck. She's like, if you're not in the arena, your opinion doesn't matter. And I get that, and I understand it, yet at the same time, it doesn't mean it doesn't sting any less. Especially with these, most of the time, almost all the time up until last week, people who commented have been really kind and nice, and we share ideas, and we're asking real questions, right? You're like, there's a curiosity component that I just love. Like, I'm curious about you and you're curious about me, and then this is back and forth where we're learning and growing together. And then there's these other people who just jump in and Nancy Kerrigan your knees out, or Tanya Harding. You know what I'm saying? Take a swing at your legs trying to knock you down. And I just don't understand it. What helped, again, blocking social media, but I watched Dave Chappelle's new stand-up, and I also learned this in grad school, and it was just another nice reminder. It was like the universe was trying to help me out here. And he goes, I don't know is a perfectly responsible and accurate answer. You can say, I don't know. You don't have to have an opinion on things. You don't have to jump to conclusions. You don't have to have any of this. I don't know is a good answer. And I feel like in my last video talking about this shooting stuff, I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I was getting private messages and other comments from all over the place about one attacking me, and then people just throwing out their opinion, even though we don't know. They don't, and I'm well aware that they don't know either. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on, except for probably a handful of small people. It's very weird out there. But it was nice to hear. I respect Dave Chappelle as like a person, and it just helped to remind myself that I don't know is a beautiful place to start from, because I don't know is like the birthplace of curiosity, right? Then you start asking questions and exploring things instead of jumping to an opinion, and then if someone doesn't have the same opinion as you, it's fought. And I don't know. I think maybe the people who listen to this with me maybe share that same idea, is that I don't really give a fuck about your opinion most of the time. If it's just like opinions are irritating. That's I don't mean it like that. I mean it like people who jump to conclusions or have an opinion without educated, knowledgeable, factual data. I fucking hate that. I really don't like that. And then people who just throw out an opinion without curiosity, or like, here's where I am right now. Where do you stand on that? Again, the question is curiosity side of it. And I think that feels healthier. And I'm really happy, and I'm sorry for some of the people who were doing that and then immediately got attacked. I fucking hate that. And it makes me just want to kill the comments so that doesn't happen to you. I know I chose to put myself out there, and I know when people write a comment, I don't think they always expect that they might get attacked by a bunch of losers in that population. And I call them losers because I shouldn't. I just wish I understood them more. Maybe if I understood why people feel like they have to do that, I wouldn't feel so strongly about it. I wouldn't have this like weird idea on it. I'd need to stop talking about this. But anyways, started meditating on that again too, and I started feeling better. It was like, oh, these people are just, I don't know. Anybody who's been in the space of creating content online for a long time or posting online has dealt with negative people. The problem is I haven't gotten a lot of it in pole vaulting, and then within the last year I've been getting a lot of it too again. And I just don't understand it. Like, the only reason I'm still doing anything on pole vaulting is because people keep asking me to. I'm just trying to build the community up because it was a safe space for me to grow, and it doesn't feel very safe all the time anymore online. And that was, again, I'm going to come back to this. That was the helpful reminder, is even people in the pole vault community who are posting negative bullshit on other people's stuff who are trying to improve the community, that's a population of cunts, right? People who just attack you online. I'm just going to say it here because I don't have another answer yet. Fucking cunts. Fuck you guys. And if you do disagree with me, start your own goddamn podcast, buy a bunch of camera equipment. You can say what you want. But negative commenters online, cunts. All right, those two big things we talked about. Let's talk to number 3. Did you know 20% of couples break up in their first year after having a child? Yeah, having a kid is no joke. You know, they don't tell you that. They tell you it's going to change your life. Yes, not maybe always for the better. This person you fell in love with and decided to make a child with, you might start to not like them anymore, and your marriage and relationship might end. That's never in the pamphlet. And I don't think a lot of people know that, but I know that because I look that shit up. You know, I think it's I get curious about all that stuff, and I'm bringing this up because Kira and I have been like, we're fine, but we've been like, there's been stress, right, and a little bit of conflict with stuff, and I don't know if she wants me talking about this. I'll keep it very calm. What kind of came up is we always kind of prided ourselves on having great communication, and great communication isn't always just talking and sharing the good stuff and happy-go-lucky. It's sharing the hard stuff and talking about the hard stuff, and that communication is important because it shows you where like the barriers are, and going, oh, look at this wall. We need to break this down. It's keeping us apart. And then it's fucking hard because both of us kind of maybe built up a little bit on each side of the wall, and we had to fucking knock it down or tunnel through it, or however else you want to look at this and get through it. And we've been really good at that for the most part. And lately, the communication, without even realizing it, hasn't been there. And when we'd want to communicate, one of us would be tired or overly stressed out, and we wouldn't have the mental capacity to do it because we're like, I'm at a 9 or a 10 on the stress level. And if we start talking about this, it's just going to be fucking screaming. And we'd go to bed, and then that issue would still be there, that wall. And then there would be like another brick layer added to it on both sides. And then we'd go to the next day thinking we'd talk about it again or something, or we'd forget, or one of us would forget about it, or we'd be kind of tiptoeing around each other. And then it just went, but that wall was still there. You know, it was keeping us apart. Because we'd put our kids first, right? We gotta give them food. We gotta give them clothes. We gotta get them, we spend time with them. We gotta show them love. We gotta give them attention. And there's all this attention, and they want you and need you and all the time. And we weren't giving it to each other. And then you add lack of sleep onto all of that, and you're like, oh my God. Then the stress level, only goes to 10, but fuck, dude, it cranks to 11, and you're like, ah. And that makes it even harder because you're sleep deprived, and everything feels bigger when you're sleep deprived, even though it may not be. And so 20% of couples break up within the first year of having their first child. Or wait, did I say that right? Yeah, I said that right. Yeah, that's 20% on top of probably the 50%, right? The 50% of divorcing. And then if you have a second kid, add another 5% on that, so 25% chance, which is insane. So long story short, we were both tired, again, Carrie and I, and that wall was just not good. It was pretty high for a while there, and we finally started taking a sledgehammer at it. And we weren't our best selves, we'll just say that, but I think the fact we were throwing dynamite at this wall and hitting it with the sledgehammer while I think both of us were even still trying to put up some other bricks, but it was too late. The dynamite was already lit, and it was blowing that shit up. We were able to talk, and things are so much better now. So much better. Even when I'm getting the same amount of sleep, I just feel better because I don't feel like I'm in flight or fight. And I think for me, just knowing that these percentages of how hard throwing a kid into your marriage is, I shouldn't say it like that. Bringing a kid into your marriage. Bringing a kid into your life. Bringing kids into your life. It's the greatest thing ever. But when all your energy's focused that way and you forget like your other person, I don't know, a metaphor analogy guy. It's like you have buckets of water and you're putting it all on your kids, right? And you're watering these little children plants, and you can't forget to water your spouse. Give them some water too. And I know it's hard because you might not feel like you have a lot of water. And maybe that's where I'm getting to here is you have to communicate that you're not having a lot of water, and how do you do that together before it gets bad? It's a slippery slope, especially when you don't know how to be a parent. And nobody does, right? Nobody knows how to be a parent before they're a parent. It's weird. It's like, this is good luck. Good luck figuring this out. There's no manual. There's a lot of books that people claim they're experts, but they don't have your situation or your life or your past experiences or your drama or your shit like that. It's crazy. So I'm going to bring Bluey back up because this thing popped up. It's right here, but I sent it to Carrie. It was, kids will change your marriage, but just remember, when the kids are asleep or all grown up and moved away, all you have left is each other. And this part kind of hit me pretty hard, but it's like, don't forget the reason the kids are here in the first place. It's you two against the problem, never against each other. You are a team. And I think what happened for me when I saw that was I thought, we as a team wanted to bring more love into this thing that we made. This bubble of life, this bubble of energy, this family, this life. I don't know how to describe it. I can feel it. It feels big and round, like a bubble for real. And you forget that we did that together. And then you start to, I don't know, that wall was hard, but I sent that to Carrie and she appreciated it. And then, I don't know, 20% of marriages, or couples break up the first year after having a kid. That's so insane. And it isn't talked about. Then the other thing, here's number 4. 4 of 5. Another big one that happens is like, kids feel safe with you. This is going to break my heart. Do I cry in every episode? I don't know. I'm going to try not to this one. But kids feel safe with you, and if you betray that safety, or they don't feel safe, that's the most painful thing I think I've had as a parent. And it happened a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And tired. I think I was running on 3 hours of sleep that night. Amelia hit me in the face, and then not on purpose. It was kind of an accident, and I just kind of blew up, yelled, and I was like, "No!" Right as it was happening, it's like, "Fucking don't!" And it scared her, and I could see it scared her, and she got quiet. I was like, "God, fucking damn it! This is exactly what I don't want to be as a parent. I just don't want it. I don't want it." And I heard and I read and I read and I read and I looked up some other things, and I can't fix it. I can't go back and change it. But they said to mess up a kid, you if that happens, you leave him to be alone with it. And that is in my head always. And I fucked up. And so I sat with her and I apologized. And I didn't let her be alone. I didn't want her, yeah. And we took breaths together and calmed down. And that was kind of like a spark I had where I was like, I'm sleep deprived. Me and Carrie are rocky. Not rocky, but there's that wall was there. I don't like the behavior that's coming out of me. Something needs to fucking change because I'm stressed, which is again why I'm meditating again too, because I know it's good for me, but I keep putting it off in order to, be there more for kids. But if I don't do those things, then I'm really not being there for my kids or my family. And that's hard. It's fucking hard. And then all that comment shit, just added to the stress. It was just like, I had to get back to who I was, like the core of me. And it's so hard. It's so tricky. It's so fucking tricky. So, I hope that's the worst. You just hope you don't screw up your kid. You hope you don't hurt him. You hope everything will be fine. And then for my birthday, I got my sister-in-law took a bunch of photos from my mom's photo book of me when I was a kid, and Amelia looks exactly like me. And I keep thinking like, there's a part of psychology called reparenting yourself, and there's a lot of things I wish could have been different, growing up. A lot of things are great too. I don't think my mom listens to this. I don't want her to get hurt if she does. But I think about that, and I think in a previous podcast I said don't try and remember what it was like to be a kid. And I remember, a few times getting yelled at or punished for like an accident or just being a kid. I thought it was playing, And now I see like both sides where that parent was maybe stressed out or there's an accident and, you're not supposed to behave that way, that type of shit. And I was like, I don't ever want to do that to them. And I've caught it a few times where I have. And so when I see Amelia now, it just kind of hit me like, she's just a little me, in a lot of ways. She's her own kid. I don't want to see that, but I see a lot of myself in her. Very sensitive, caring, curious kid, just wants to play all the time. And so that's actually kind of helped me just. It's so easy to see this little kid, come into the world, and you're like, they know nothing. They're just like a blank slate, and they're a kid, and they're so small, and they keep growing, and then all of a sudden you're like, they're a human, and you forget they're two. You forget they're just a small little 2-year-old, and they're just exploring, and there's this magic, and the last thing I'm gonna do is fucking kill that magic, because I've been trying to do that in my own life, is keep that alive for so long. Just everybody has it, and I think as you grow, the sludge of life starts to kind of weigh it down, And I think a lot of what I do with Team Hoot and Owl Media and the One Whole Life is to just try and, one, get the sludge off, and two, bring that like essence to the surface, that like childlike part of you. And that's like my biggest pain point as being a parent, is falling into traps of restricting that. And if it's due to stress, or it's due to like hard things like not being able to communicate with your spouse, or letting fucking people you don't even know online like say mean shit about you and it affects you. It's like, well, what's most important? My family right now. These 3 people in my life. Just these 3. The most important, top of the tier. And myself. And so it's like, get rid of the things that are making it so you can't show up for them. And so that's what I did in the last 2 weeks. And it's been really hard, but I can actually feel the shift of it being better. It's kind of crazy. Oh, about 30 minutes. Maybe we'll do one more. Again, this is the last thing I've been talking about. I've been thinking about like why people are afraid of death all the time. And I know I've never been really afraid of it, but lately I've been not wanting it to happen. And I'll share that at the end. But someone close to me just had a heart attack, just scary. My dad died. That affected me and made me think about things a lot differently because I saw the whole process of him going through it, like him literally dying. My mom just had a scare too. It's like there's a lot of people around me. The shit gets real years, right? And it fucking sucks, this part of your life where you just get to this phase where all the people who help raise you and give you wisdom and guidance and stuff are all going. They're just, who knows? Nobody knows where they're going. Nobody does, and everyone who claims they do are full of shit. But it's weird. So I guess that's the question. Why do you think people are afraid of death? I don't really know. But I wrote this like struggle bubble idea down. I don't know, maybe this is interesting to you, but I have this thought that I can't explore, but it'd be cool if it works this way. And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. It's like, imagine for a moment that there's this space like before you were born, and then you go there again after you were born. And I always kind of think of it like a big puddle of water, right? It's like we're all like little bubbles just squished together. Sometimes you get to the surface and you float out of the water like into the air, and sometimes you're just kind of smashing against the other bubbles. You're all really close. You're all just like molecules, right? You're all there. I think about that. Like that'd be cool if it kind of worked that way. But when we do float out, like it's cool. You're separate. You're separate from like the water, the molecules, and you're floating. You're like, this is fucking wild. But eventually you pop into like all these smaller pieces, and you're not floating anymore. You kind of fall back down into the other bubbles, And I always had this idea, and I really do, like when you die, that you just get all the answers. I don't know if this is true. It's interesting thought though. It's like, okay, so if we were to die, and when you do, you just get all of the answers immediately. That'd be pretty wild, right? The big questions, It's like it's downloaded into your brain. I used to think maybe you got a stat book too. All the times you lied, all the times you kicked the ball, all the times you jerked off, all the time, all the times you hugged your dad, all the times you picked up your niece or nephew, all the times you wore a hat. It's like you just had a stat and you could just, and it all kind of went in, and it's like, this is fascinating and interesting. And then I was like, and right now it feels cool. Like it'd be cool to know all that, like just have all your life stats, And then I always get to this point where I go, but if you had all the answers to all that stuff, like everything, if you had the answers to absolutely everything, it'd be like playing a video game with all the cheat codes, right? You just have unlimited money, unlimited power, unlimited information, and the game won't be fun anymore. It's fun at first. It's super fun at first if you've ever put cheat codes into a video game. But then eventually you don't want it anymore. You don't want to play the game. You actually go back and turn off the cheat codes and play it the hard way again, right? And That's weird to think about. That's so insane for me to think about, because as much as there's this curiosity in me, it's just like, I'm curious. I want to know these answers. Like, I don't want all of them, I guess. And that's the thing with life is, I don't know, curiosity kind of keeps you going, doesn't it? It's kind of weird. And the struggle bubble, the struggle is it's kind of the beauty of it, right? Like, it's fun to be in around all the other bubbles, but man, that floating up and not knowing shit or when it's gonna pop is pretty beautiful too. But maybe it's only beautiful if it works that way. If it doesn't, who knows? Maybe it's just fucking darkness and despair. Maybe you're on the edge again. Maybe there's nothingness. Maybe, and then would you even know? I don't know. We don't. But it's I guess I like thinking about it sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys? Is that too much? What do you guys think after you die? You guys have kids? How was that first year having kids? Was your marriage hard and rocky, or did you guys get closer? Genuinely curious. Yeah, it's strange. Do you guys get hurtful comments online sometimes? You guys feel that people are being meaner online right now? I don't feel like people are being meaner in public. People seem pretty cool too, but yeah, a bunch of cunts online. That population of people suck. But with all that said, I guess try and tune into what you need and what's, if you can, take a good look at what's causing you stress and do everything in your power to get to a place where that can go away. Because I do feel a lot better. I had to cut some shit out and have some tough conversations, like Team Hoot could die. But I'm more present with my family. And that seems more important. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for the rant. There was a lot going on because I missed last week, so my brain's just kind of insane. And I got to thank you one more time for just allowing me to do this. Helps me figure shit out sometimes. Yeah, but I got a phone call that I got to get to really quick, and then I'm going to meditate right afterwards because, as I said, it's been helping. With that said, everybody, life's meant to be experienced. Curiosity will get you there.